Warning. What you're about to see is a guy who is attempting to restore a junked FZ750 for the very first time. He's had some minor experience repairing things, but is otherwise a novice. He will most definitely do some dumb shit. Please, don't give him too much crap.
Hey, welcome back once again to
Kill Factory.
Motorsports. I'm Den. Let's get started. Here we are back with the YZ. I don't know why I keep saying that, man. This is the FZ750 piece of shit. So the last episode, just trying to get the carburetors running, trying to get the engine running. I've gotten no suction out of two of those carburetors. I still feel like I should be getting some sort of action though. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the spark plugs, because that's part of the process of troubleshooting anyway, is just doing the easy shit. Unfortunately on this bike, it's not so easy because there isn't really good available access to the spark plugs. So we've got this right here, that is the starter coil on one side. We've got another one on the other side that's completely blocking access, as well as this radiator here. So my biggest problem is I don't want to take a bunch of stuff apart because I might forget how to put it back together. I like to take something off when I need to get to it and when I can repair it and replace it back in one day. But in this case, we're just gonna go for it. I may try and get in on the side here. If I can get two of those spark plugs out on either side, that might be easy, but really I'm afraid I'm just gonna have to take off the whole radiator. So let's find out. Here we go. We're gonna try and get these spark plugs out. The strange thing about this bike is on the 88, the starter coils are on the sides of the bike, kind of blocking the spark plugs. Whereas on the 86, starter coils are right under the gas tank, which is way up here. You got to pull the gas tank off to get to the coils, but it's easier to get to the spark plugs. So I guess you trade one thing for another. And now I'm going to try and get them off. You always got to pay extra special attention to what order and what cables, spark plug cables you're pulling out, because there's a specific firing order in the engine that you don't want to screw up. It's always good to check your manual, or you can buy one at AutoZone for most of these bikes. But I'm going to assume that they're in the right spot and just change them one at a time so that I don't mix up the cables. All right, getting the starter coil off. It's as easy as that. You see there's this bracket that comes off. This bottom of the coil fits in that bracket. This top part of the coil fits in the bracket that comes off. I'm just going to get this out of the way for now. In whatever way possible. Maybe I will disconnect it here. And let's see if I can get into those plugs without having to disrupt a whole lot of stuff. Always remember to keep your small parts together. Oh man, that's nasty. Okay. Here's your first spark plug housing right here. I don't remember what that's called. It's the boot. You just pop it right off. It comes right out. You see that? And you got to find the ratchet that best fits spark plug. I don't remember what size works best for this one. Let's see. It's easier if you already have a spark plug out, like I do right here, so I can find the correct ratchet size. Now I can feel the spark plugs in there, so it's not been taken out already. All right, you gotta twist that around a little bit, make sure it grips the spark plug. Yeah, it's not loose at all. I don't think that it was actually fit to the spark plug at that point. There we go. Right, there we go. Yeah, no, I think it's moving. I can hear it bouncing around. And there we are. It's not very clean whatsoever. I don't have brand new spark plugs. I have some old ones from the secondary bike. I think it bought them new, but years ago. So I think this will do just fine. Look at the difference. I'm gonna go ahead and replace that one. Never tighten anything overly tight, just real snug. You do have to remember though that motorcycle is going to be bouncing all over the place. So you don't want it to be too loose, but never over tighten anything. And that goes with anything, not just motorcycles. All right, that's one out of the way. I'm really worried I don't have proper tools to get inside of that second spark plug. I'm gonna give it a try, but I'm not super hopeful. Okay, so I've got both of these boots off, and I want to remember which one goes where. So I'm just gonna leave this one back in here somewhere. Maybe that'll work, just so I know that one belongs back there. Also, you don't want to get a lot of stuff down in these holes here, especially when there's no spark plug in it. If there's a spark plug there, that's fine. Nothing's gonna happen. But I just literally pulled a leaf out. Let's see if we can make some magic here. Might be able to get to it if I remove this plastic guard. I don't know if you can see here. There's a screw here. And that takes off this plastic guard that goes from under the gas tank to these spark plugs. And I think I might actually be able to get access if I can just remove that. Well, I'm pleased to say that that plastic guard gets us enough room to get right down to those spark plugs. At least I hope so. There's much more access over here, so that's helpful. Let's see what we can do. Oh yeah, it's much easier so far. To get the ratchet down in there is the problem. I have to use a longer extension. Pop that bolt right back in there, that ratchet. Make sure it's locked onto the... Oh man, might just be too tall. I really don't want to take this radiator off. You know what? Now that I got this top off, there might be enough room on the side because I can get my hand up here. Oh yeah, here we go. It's gonna be slow going, but it's gonna work. I'll tend to ratchet for a little bit. And once I get it loose enough, that's when I'll just take the ratchet off and use my hands. I'm not quite there yet. Look at there. That thing looks pretty spent. Yep. Next. There's the newest one. All right, that's 2 down. I'm gonna put the boots back on, and then we're gonna get the 2 on the other side. Remember, I placed boot number 2, which is actually marked, thanks to the previous owner. I don't know if you can see that. Back in the second area. There we go. Found it. Once you get in there, there we go. Press down and just wait for the little pop. When it pops back on, you can definitely just feel it click. There we go. All right. Really kind of great that these are marked. I didn't realize that. Look, that's marked 1. The other one was marked 2. It's really helpful. It's a good suggestion for anyone else once you find out which position your spark plugs go to, just mark the wires like that. It's super clever. Ow. All right, I'm gonna replace the coil on the side and get on to the second one, the second side. Okay, I'm gonna reattach this coil onto the side of the bike, and then get the other 2 spark plugs. I'm having a little trouble getting that last spark plug out because it's really tight in there. I guess it would be handy to have a magnetic tool. I mean, this would be much easier with the radiator off, but I don't want to take it off right now if I don't have to. That's why I'm doing it this way. Sometimes you can put the ratchet back in there and just kind of put some tension on it and then pull them out together. Doesn't always work, but as long as I can get it out a little bit, then I can grab it with my fingers. And I like turn it left to where the ratchet grabs onto the spark plug. Make sure it's totally out, and then I'm going to kind of pull back on it with tension and hope to slide the spark plug with it. I don't know if you can see, but I did manage to get it out a little bit more. I don't know if you can see there. It's just barely popping out. Actually, I might be able to grab it with my fingers now that it's out a little bit. Nope, I think I pushed it back in. Let's try it again. Look at that. That thing is nasty. Wow. I've never seen anything like that. Wow. Look, like I've said, first things first, I just want to see if I can get this thing started without having to completely take it, dismantle it down to its core. But, the looks of that kind of tells me that there's going to be a lot of internal cleaning that's going to have to be done eventually. Man, that's bad. There we go. It's a freshie. Look at that. Cleverly marked number 3. Everybody should do that. That's genius. There we go. One more. Now, I don't know if I have a spark plug for that, which is going to be a problem, so I'm going to have to look for it. There you go, get the last spark plug set. Now, I don't remember if I bought these spark plugs new when I first got the other broken down bike, but they all look really clean. They all look really good. I'm pretty confident they're not bad spark plugs. But who knows, at the end of the day, if things aren't working properly, I may end up having to, I I might end up having to replace them. So who knows? You never know. Wait for the pop, and that is done. I'm not gonna put these plastics back in because I know I'm gonna have to get in there at some point in the future during this restore, so I'm probably just gonna leave them out for now. Put the coil back on. That's it. There you go. Alright, and that's how you change the spark plugs on an FZ750. Yeah, next thing we're going to do is try and start up that engine again. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, we'll go on to the next thing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment underneath. Give me some tips, some help. Any advice you have, I will take it, and we'll move on to the next episode.